I think it's very well tied to the previous question we just discussed. That consistency leads to association to begin with. What happens is, I'll give you an example of Apple. I think they are doing the best job with it, and I think they use something we call as a pervasive information architecture to make sure there's a lot of consistency. What that means is, if I walk into an Apple store and I need some help, I know I have to go to a Genius Bar section, or I know where different products are. Now, the way the products are organized in an Apple store versus the way it is organized on the website versus how it is on the phone itself in the settings menu, it is completely consistent. So I think the idea is that you do not break the experience of your user. No matter where I go, for the user, they're just interacting with you as a product. For them, it doesn't matter whether for mobile you're doing it differently or website you're doing it differently. For them, it's just a product. It's just somebody they're interacting with. So they do expect a similar or a consistent experience throughout. So especially starting from your navigation systems that you are building, they have to be and they should be consistent throughout. I'm not saying that what the navigation system you have on web should exactly be replicated on mobile, but the use of terminology, the content that you put in there should just be consistent. The grouping should be consistent. It could be different in form. The representation, the visual representation could be different. That's fine. But then the contextual grouping should just be consistent. And I think that's very much required in order to make sure that the users are learning your product very well, and they understand how the entire ecosystem of your features and functions work. I think that's the impact. And also just to add to that, I think while users come with a certain mental model to use your product, at some point when they interact and engage with your product, their mental model also starts getting adapted to what you give it to them. Now, if that something is very complex, or it's different on a mobile interface, or it's different on a web interface or a tablet interface, then they would not, it will be very difficult for them to learn it, right? So the learnability will be very high, and just to ease it out, you should just make sure that it's all consistent.